Hey everyone, welcome back to Elemental Cartomancy, and today I'm going to show you the Skyrim Tarot deck. Um, this has been made by Titan Books, so the book's written by Tori Schafer, and the deck has been illustrated by Erika Hollice. Um, First of all, the box. This, your usual kind of a standard sturdy box that we get these days that's going to keep the cards nice and safe. If I open it up and let you see, the cards kind of a sit in here, and you've got the ribbon to make it easy to get them out, and then the book kind of a sits in this kind of a second level here that you see. Um, on the back of the box, if I let me switch it over, and that way we can actually see. I can show you. So you explore your past, present, and future with this official tarot deck inspired by the dangerous world of Tamriel, featuring the original art of Cicero, Farengar, High King of Torig, and many more iconic figures from the world of Skyrim. Gosh, you can tell I'm not really a Skyrim player, can't you? So I kind of my husband likes the game Skyrim. And it was him that I think it was him that first saw this, and he ordered it for me off of Forbidden Planet. Um, but we'll see. We'll have a look through the deck and we'll see what we think of it. The book is pretty decent. It offers a page, I think, for each. So you've got a color image, and you've got, so the color image takes up maybe 60% of the page, and then you've got a wee bit of information on the upright and the reversed. I believe the majors you get a bit more. So we get a full page for the image, and then a full page for the description, and it actually describes who it is that we're seeing on each card. So what I'll try and do as I'm flipping through the deck, I'll try and tell you who the characters are. I'll try not butcher the pronunciations of the names, but we know that's going to happen, so just be lenient with me. Let's do a resize comparison. So if we compare it to a standard US games, it's just a hair taller, I think. More or less the same size. If you can work with a standard US games, you're going to be able, and that was the Centennial that I used there. If you can work with the standard US games, you'll be able to work with this deck. Cardstock's quite nice, it's quite papery. I'd say it's maybe quite similar to if you've got the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. It's maybe a wee bit more papery than that, but it has that same kind of a it's not an easy one to, if you like the cards to be glidey. I wouldn't really say that it's a very glidey deck, you know. Okay. What I'll do, I'll flip through the cards, and before we start the flip through, actually, what I want to do is, in fact, I'll show you. So these are the backs, and I'll pop that there and let you have a good look at the backs whilst I read out, because the minors are a bit different. So I need to tell you what each what each symbol we have here is and what it correlates to. So in this deck we have the suits of spells, lockpicks, arms, and voice. Okay, so spells corresponds to the element of fire, which is 1. So it says spells represents adventure, creativity, inspiration, and members of its core represented by the Mages Guild are courageous and passionate. The suit of lockpicks represents finance, earthly matters, and laborious pursuits. The members of its core, represented by the Thieves Guild, are hardworking and reliable. It corresponds with the element of earth. The suit of arms represents conflict, power, and judgment. Its members of its core are represented by the companions. They're powerful and keen. It corresponds with the element of wind here, or air, swords. And the suit of voice represents emotions, relationships, and imagination. The members of its core are represented by, in our deck, by the Greybeards, are creative and harmonious. It corresponds with the element of water. It also says here, which is quite nice, you can see it kind of has a wee paragraph down the bottom. It says, before we continue, a note on gender expression within tarot readings. Many cards are represented by the women and men within the Skyrim universe. So Skyrim is a game, it's Elder Scrolls 5, one of the Elder Scrolls game, the fifth game in the Elder Scrolls franchise. I believe my husband played it on the PS3 or the PS4 maybe, or maybe even the PC. Yet many of the cards are represented by the women and men of Skyrim, but these cards are not limited to the gender binary. You may find that the Queen of Arms reminds you of your father, or the Emperor is reminiscent of a non-binary friend. Although the card descriptions are traditionally masculine or feminine, they can be interpreted freely across many different gender expressions. The cards are here to fit your personal journey, whatever that may be. Okay, so we've got the Fool to start with, and this is the character Cicero. Okay, so I'm reading from the book. It tells us here a bit about the character and maybe a bit about why they relate to the Fool. So we've got Cicero as the Fool. And the Magician is that Ferengar. Secret Fire is the court wizard. Ferengar Secret Fire is the court wizard to Jarl Balgruuf. Some great names in this. For our High Priestess, we have Saint Alicia, liberator of mankind and founder of the Eight Divines, embodies these principles like no other. So the High Priestess is the link between the seen and the unseen, desire and manifestation, spiritual and physical. For our Empress, rules over our domain with a nurturing heart. So this is Elisif the Fair. The Emperor. We have the High King Torig. Our Hierophant. Julianos. He is a god of literature, law, history, and contradiction. Will you follow his ways, or will you strike out on a path all on your own? For the Lovers, John and Olfina. In the Chariot we have Arvak, the undead mount found within the soul cairn. Endlessly runs towards an unknown destination. Not even death can stop his journey. Can you take the reins? Sorry, I've got really obnoxious drivers outside on this main road. So you'll hear them going up and down, no doubt. For Strength, Ulfric. The Hermit next. So this is the dragon Parthenax. For the Wheel of Fortune we have Lava the Feeble. Justice, Talos, the hero turned emperor turned god. Next we have our Hanged Man, and this is Esbern. I think it's quite interesting that he's shown between two blades here. So it says Esbern, between decision and indecision, the hanged man is held. He has been suspended by inner conflict, or perhaps a mere twist of fate. Esbern exemplifies this dilemma through his duties as a member of the Blades. His once proud order is broken, but he still has duties to fulfill. He simply awaits the right time, and sometimes so must you. So this is more to do with the character than it is to do with the meaning, but you know, it'll be interesting to see what kind of things that gives out in a reading. Death card, Sithus, embodies death. Temperance, balance between material and spiritual, the ability to adapt in order to maintain that balance. Sotha Sil, the devil, really cool. I love the kind of a red colours at the top and the black at the bottom, and the kind of a spider's web around about her. There is no greater temptress in Tamriel than Mephala. So this is Mephala. The tower represents chaos and conflict. There's no greater lover of such insanity than the Daedric prince Shigarath, master of mania and dementia. His realm embodies hardships and can fell even the mightiest. Will you be among the fallen? The star, symbol of hope, even in the darkest of nights. The Lady of Dusk and Dawn, Azura. For the moon, not sure if, oh, nocturnal. The moon hangs bright in the dark sky, offering both intuition and illusions. Nocturnal, prince of night, darkness and luck, is much like that mysterious moon, for her favours come with a price. Will you gain the blessing of the night mistress, or is the light of the moon merely a peril in disguise? Yeah, so nocturnal is the night mistress that we see in this card. And the sun, filled with life and energy. The Daedric Prince Meridia. Strange, it keeps saying Prince. It did that in the moon as well. Prince of Night, but it's a it's a female. It's depicted. It specifically says Night Mistress, and it does it again in the Sun card. I wonder if there's a reason for that, or if it's just a typing mistake. But yeah, it says the Daedric Prince Meridia, and then it says through her guidance is happiness obtained, as she takes great joy in rewarding mortals who protect the realm of man. For judgment, Miall the Lioness passes judgment over what she believes is wrong and right. She wishes to aid the righteous and condemn the wicked. Which are you? I suppose we see the lioness here. I'm not sure who the kind of human-esque character is. Okay, and then finally we have the world. such as the knowledge of Akatosh, dragon god of time. Just as he encompasses endurance, invincibility, and everlasting legitimacy, so too can you. The world represents all that is and all that can be, a connection and deeper understanding of the universe and your place within it. So there's obviously been thought put into, what characters are being assigned to which cards. I'm probably not the best person to be judging just based on the fact that I'm not a player of Skyrim, so I don't know any of these characters. But I'm pretty sure there are some people that might watch this that do like the game. So yeah, I just hope that I've not butchered any of the names too badly. Okay, so we'll get the suit of spells, and I think we said that was equivalent to wands or fire. Yep, spells is fire. So the king of spells, Savos Aren. Queen of spells, Mirabelle Irvin. We have the knight of spells, One-Firth the Unliving. And the page of spells, Tolfdir. Okay, and then I'll quickly run through. It's a pip deck. I should have said that at the start. So it's not, they aren't really scenic. You're just kind of getting the pip. So here we have the ace, the two. So you can see this kind of a symbol that's representing the spells, but it's interesting because that changes. All right, so we see, you've got something a bit different here. 3, 4, 5, the 6, 7, 8, the 9, and the 10 of spells. Okay, we then come on to the suit of lockpicks. And we said that was equivalent to earth, so pentacles, discs. We have the king of lockpicks is Mercer Frey. Queen of lockpicks is Vex. The knight of lockpicks is Brynjolf. And Sapphire is the page. Okay, so we have the ace. Interesting that it seems to be depicting his swords. That's one thing I would say about this deck, is it's a very kind of an airy deck, just because swords seem to feature a hell of a lot, you know. So again, you kind of get these two symbols that are being used to represent the suit, the lockpicks in this example. 9 and then 10. Arms as wands. Sorry, arms as swords. I get myself all mixed up. And the king of arms, straighten that up, is Kodlak Whitemane. The queen is Ayla the Huntress. The knight is Skjor, I'm going to pronounce that. And the page is Farkas. Okay, and again I'll quickly run through. So again, you're getting swords again here. Suppose this is the suit of swords. 3, 4. So you're getting the axes and the swords here to represent the arms or the lockpick. No, the arms or swords. 8, the 9, and the 10. And then finally we come to the suit of voice. So again, voice feels very airy, very swordsy to me, just because, your voice is, your expression and one of the things that I associate with the sort of swords normally. Um, okay, so for the King of Voice, we have Jurgen Windcaller. For the Queen, we have Kine. For the Knight, we have Arngeir. And then for the Page, we have Einarth. And then I'll quickly run through the Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally the 10 of voice. So these are like the cups, and I suppose they kind of look like horns, which is what's used as cups in the Brady Tarot. So it's quite cool. In terms of how they shuffle, let's just take a wee look. So they're quite pliable, you can see here. They riffle shuffle quite nicely. They're maybe going to bow if I riffle shuffle them quite a lot, which I do with my decks, but it doesn't really bother me that much. So what we'll do, what I'll do is I'll pause this and get them shuffled up nice and nice and mixed up, and then we can go through one of the spreads that's in the book. Okay, so one of the spreads that's in the book is called Akatosh's Wisdom. It's a 7-card spread. It says, sometimes we simply wish to remember what has been, reflect on what is, and look toward what is to come. Akatosh, the dragon god of time, will guide your way. This spread is an excellent choice when you have no specific question in mind, but rather wish for the cards to guide you towards a better understanding of your current situation. Okay. And you can see how the layout is. 2 at the top, 3 in the middle, and 2 at the bottom. So we've got the 1 and 2, the 2 at the top. These 2 cards show past events that have led to your current situation and are meant to be read as a set. Their meaning may not become clear until you finish the reading. And then 6 and 7 does something similar. It says the last 2 cards show your future and are meant to be read as a set. Do they signify an outcome that you desire, or do you wish to change your fate? And then the 3 in the middle all have different a meanings. So the third card, it shows a recent event that's triggered a change. So this is a past event card. 4, this card represents your current state of being. Reflect on this card deeply, for it resides at the heart of the entire reading. So this is 4, which is right in the centre. And then 5, this card represents what direction your present course is taking. Have you chosen this direction, or are there other forces at play? So I've given these a good shuffle. I neglected to say they do overhand really nicely, just as you would expect with a deck this size. What I'll do, I'm going to spread them out on the table. In fact, park that bus. What we'll do first is we'll zoom out of it, so as that we have a bit more space to lay the cards. But I'm going to spread them out, and then I'm going to pick 7. See, that's what I mean when I say they're not very glidey. It's harder to fan them out. So here we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So 1 and 2, I'm going to pop these up here. We said that it talks about past events. Interesting, we'll get 2 7s. Okay. So depending on what you read the 7s to be, growth from stability. So it's that having to a push out past your comfort zone. All right, you've achieved a lot, but you still need to push on. It's not a time to rest on your laurels as much as it might feel like it. It's time to put yourself in uncomfortable positions in order to kind of achieve great things. All right, so we've got the Chariot, the Major, and the Chariot is very kind of using your free will. Okay, um, you've got a lot on, you've got a lot of things a lot of forces at play in your life that you're having to direct in order to keep things moving forward. Um, and the Chariot indicates that you're doing that well. Seven of Arms is equivalent to the Seven of Swords. Okay, so this is again a card of the mind. We're still in the realm of free will, um, and thinking about how we think, for lack of a better way to put it. Um, that kind of a growth from stability for me. That's a kind of a thinking outside the box card. You know, so it suggests that in the past, our imaginary queering or me, if I'm reading for myself, I've probably been going through something where I've had a lot on. I felt as though my life was a bit up in arms. Um, I seem to have been managing it, but it's taken for me to think outside the box and maybe not adopt the obvious approach to something. With a Seven of Arms here. Okay. So three was a recent past event, and we've got the page of lockpicks, and the lockpicks, earth, discs, and we've got a page. So this is the kind of the learner, the student, the initiate. Um, it's the enthusiastic energy of the suit. Okay, so this is someone who's not quite, doesn't quite have the full maturity of the king. They've still got a lot to learn in their realm, but there's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement that kind of comes with that position of being a novice. Um, when we're looking at, lockpicks, when we're looking at the sort of earth, we're thinking about our material world around about us. We're thinking about the money that we've got coming in, the job that we're doing, the very physical things that we do in life that kind of keep us safe, keep us secure, and keep our lives on track, I guess. So the page maybe suggests a bit of a new beginning or a bit of a change of gears. So that's a recent past event. Where we are now, the Ten of Arms, so we've got another kind of an air swords card, suggests that there's another change happening. Okay, so there's recently been a kind of a change, and this one maybe feels a wee bit more positive, or it maybe felt positive at the time, whereas Ten of Arms sometimes might suggest that we've been through a lot, there's been a lot of shit going on, we've been through a difficult time, but things are looking up, things are on the move, and they're changing, and we're currently experiencing that change. Probably if your current position is Ten of Swords or Ten of Arms, you're probably not really fully appreciating the positives of the situation yet. It's probably going to take a wee bit more reflection and a wee bit more time on that before you maybe be able to look back and say, right, okay, I can appreciate that as shit as it was, it happened for a reason, and it's made me better off today than what I would have been had I not gone through that. What direction are things going on? We've got the Knight of Lockpicks, so interesting, yeah. So we've gone from the page to the Knight. So there's a clear progression there. Okay, there's a step up, a promotion, if you will. Um, it's just taken for us to kind of get ourselves through this Ten of Swords phase. So that's looking as though it's moving in quite a positive direction. In terms of development wise, evolution wise. Um, if we're in a position where we're wanting to take on more, we're wanting to have more responsibility, we're wanting to be more hands-on and action, then it's good that we're going from a page to a knight, because the knights are they are the core of action, of actually working with the element of getting your hands dirty and actually doing stuff. And the two future cards, 6 and 7, we've got strength and we've got the Empress. So that's looking quite positive. Both feel quite, earthy cards. Interestingly, they're both looking in this kind of a backwards direction. It feels as though we're continuing to kind of progress and promote ourselves and develop through this journey. We've got that Knight of Lockpicks, but then, ascend to two major cards. So we've got this strength that almost looks like an older version of him, doesn't it? Strength for me is just growing in your own confidence and your own abilities to do whatever it is that you're doing, whatever the subject of this reading is. Um, and the Empress again, think about it as another promotion. You've gone from page to knight, and then the Empress is like the Queen of Queens. Um, so we might find ourselves working with other people, helping out other people. Other people coming to us for guidance and help, and where we help them to progress themselves. Um, and the Empress is a card of Earth as well. When we're talking about the elementals, we've got, you know, this is a card of Earth, this is Earth. Fire, strength generally we tend to associate with fire, but the Empress is a very kind of an Earth Mother card. So we've kind of gone page, knight, queen, Empress of Earth, if you will. So things definitely seem to be moving in a really positive direction. Um, so I think this is a really positive reading. For anyone who maybe kind of resonates with this, if you find yourself going through this difficult phase at the moment, this time of change, of upheaval, then know that things are moving in a positive direction. So there we are. That was just a quick reading to let you see this deck in action. And yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this. Hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments, please. If you enjoyed this, then give it a wee like. Maybe even consider subscribing. And I'll hopefully see you all soon. Bye bye.